Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well. This is an update on the progress of the Oakland slash Las Vegas Raiders' beautiful stadium I call Black Beauty, the Allegiant Stadium, also known as Las Vegas Stadium. And this is from the live stream today. Let's move back just a little bit in terms of our time, approximately 2 hours back. And as you can see, much of the curtain walls, although by no means all of the curtain wall here has been finished. They still have the grating on the other side to install. Doors and other finishings and fittings here. There's the scaffolding here to continue the construction of the lanai door area. And then, of course, there is the roof, which is not done. And that's the reason for this vlog. There are people who are under the impression that because the cable net roof structure is called, well, cable net roof structure, that once this is lifted, the roof is done. That's not true. The roof is done when the tile is placed over it. And right now, that's far from happening. This is being lifted into place. In fact, I have a concern right now over the height to which this has been lifted. Okay, it looks as if they lifted it a bit too high compared with other cable net roof examples I've looked at. And hey, Aaron, and I'm concerned that this. Let me take another angle. I'm concerned that this may be indicative of a small problem. I certainly hope I'm wrong, but I have not seen this kind of. See how this is uneven? See that? Okay. That's not a good thing. It's supposed to be lifted evenly. So let's go up here and get a view from another angle. Let's view 2. That's closer in. Not really where you can tell much with respect to the roof action, but you can see where the piping is still in progress and installation here. Beautiful. But nonetheless, and it's coming through, nonetheless, a great deal, as you can see, of work being done and to be done. This Monday was a day where there were not many workers on the site. Now, hey Dick, hey D, how you doing? And I'm less interested in the bottom line and more interested in the problems and successes with the stadium that will get us to a bottom line. You know what I mean? Mainly because unlike Salesforce Transit Center back in the Bay Area in San Francisco, which had a weekly update for the press, this has no weekly update. And the press is used in Las Vegas as sort of a public relations mouthpiece, right? So that's it. And so let's take a look at the north view. Hey, look at this. The north view shows it's covered. See that? That's the story here. Look at that. What was once uncovered is now covered here. See that? So now this is almost completely enclosed with the glass panels. So that's a major milestone for them to achieve it. Let's take a look at, that's the north view. Let's take a look at the interior view. And that's here. And this is the cable net roof. And you can see where they have pulled these, see how they pulled them up and anchored them in place here? And they have cranes outside that are involved in that effort. Now, eventually, the panels have to be pushed placed over that. But they have to make sure that the rest of the structure is completely built and reinforced to specifications before they can, in earnest, start on moving the panels over. It looks like to me they're trying to fast track even that to make sure that they can start on doing that before May. The original projection was May. This is already mid-February, going into mid-February. But something else too, here, okay? And you can now get a look at, if you have seats, and I would be more interested in this than anything else. If you are a PSL holder here, you should be concerned about what your seats are going to look like. And if I'm you, I'm loving my seats. This is the third deck, okay? Take a look, okay? This is the third deck level. And the football sight lines are outstanding. Look at this. Okay, look at this. This football sight lines are cool, okay? I don't like what's going up here. What's going on? This is, you see how this has a gap between the curtain wall and the seats. Person could fall over that, down in there to their death. It'd be horrible. That needs to be cleaned up and shored up. That's shoddy. All this needs to be worked on up here. Okay, the proper safety measures. That's horrible to have that even out there and exposed in such a rush to build these seats that it's making it look like this place you don't want to sit. Look at that. Look at that. Okay? That's not good. See, look at all this up here. All right? But the sight lines are kick ass. I mean, this is an intimate football viewing establishment. No question about it. No question about it. Exactly, Dixon, why rush it? Yeah, I don't get the whole rushing thing. I really don't. Just do it right. I mean, look, we know this thing is on its way to being a magnificent facility. I mean, no question about it. The rushing it is the part that everybody should be concerned with. Everybody, okay? Everybody. It's not a matter of imperfections either. Everyone says they rush it because of the word money. Yeah, you know what that got us? That got us, let's see, that got us Salesforce Transit Center. It was rushed too. They didn't want the systems that Maria Kaplan wanted put in, so they asked her to resign. Okay. Well, by the way, those of you who think that Oakland can't afford this, I've got some news for you I want to share real quick. Okay, are you ready for it? Okay, you ready? It goes like this. The Oakland Athletics are set to enjoy a redevelopment area that has a $1.4 billion subsidy behind it. That is twice what the Raiders received by the Nevada legislature. Did you hear what I said? And that's the base year assessed value of $2 billion, which would consist of the A's ballpark plus the $500 million in proposed buildings behind it. If you just use that, and only that, as the Howard Terminal Infrastructure Development Zone, and apply the standard tax increment financing calculation to that, over a 40-year bond period, you get $1.4 billion, straight out. So those of you who are saying, oh, Oakland doesn't have any money, no, Oakland has got money. What happened here, as I was saying to Larry Beal at the Lee Steinberg Super Bowl party, is a problem of personal politics. Mark Davis did not treat the 50th and mayor and Oakland's first white female with the respect she believed she deserved. Okay, and I saw that firsthand. I've talked with her about it. It's been an ongoing problem. All right. Now, Mr. Radio say the Athletics are all talk and no action. you've paid zero attention to what the Athletics have done. I mean, zero. They've got not one, not two, but three pieces of legislation, signed by Governor Newsom, which have netted them billions of dollars in subsidy. You guys keep squawking about he's not doing anything. You're nuts. I'm just going to say it straight out just like that, okay? I don't know why you choose to have such a prejudice, but my advice to you, if you want to be at a party and know what you're talking about, get rid of it, okay? And deal with the simple, very cold, freezingly cold fact that the Raiders didn't treat the city of Oakland right. All right? Now, back to the show. Because I'm telling you something, this thing is super cool. I mean, no question about it. And it would be great in Oakland, but you know what, too? I'm going to say something else. Las Vegas needs it. Las Vegas has wanted this facility for a long, long time. Before the Raiders came along, UNLV has wanted it, so treat UNLV right. Okay? Do not mistreat UNLV. I'm a big fan of Vegas. I've covered CES for 10 years. CES Las Vegas, okay? Don't screw this up politically, because it can come back to bite the Raiders in the butt. Big time. I mean like a gigantic alligator, okay? I'm not kidding you. This is beautiful. And it's a credit, hey, Mark Davis should get all the credit in the world for getting this far. The way he did it was sloppy, okay? It was sloppy. Mario says, best years of my game experience in Oakland, but I'm done. Mario, I understand, man. It's like people fall into two camps. They're either really done and they're pissed off, or, they're either done with the Raiders or they're done with Oakland. It's kind of hard to find anybody that's in between. But look, this is a beautiful facility. And again, I say this again and again and again. Las Vegas needs, with the way its economy is going, Las Vegas needs this large-scale event center. Straight out, purely end of story. Las Vegas needs the large-scale event center. It really does. And so I am praying for a successful turnout with this. I really am. Dixon says, I'm done 254 years as a Raider. Hey, I'm not, I understand completely. I understand. Aaron says, Vegas makes all the money in the world with casinos. Well, that's actually changing. The landscape with Vegas and casinos is changing. And let me explain, too, that Reno is ahead of Vegas by about 11 years in terms of where Vegas is going to be economically. Okay? If you want to see Vegas' future, look at Reno. And believe me, there are folks in Vegas who are scared to death, and they should be. Sheldon Adelson called it. The internet is killing, straight out killing gambling, standard gambling. And the big problem is that you can be in any 1 hour away from a casino anywhere in the United States, and that has hurt Las Vegas big time. So again, Las Vegas needs this large-scale event center. It really does. And again, no. Do I like the way it was done and how Oakland was harmed? Of course not. Of course not. And it's not a court ruling. Well, it's a court ruling on the motion to dismiss, Dixon, but I think it's going to go through trial, all right? But it's not a final one. John Acosta says, I was born in Reno, but I hardly remember anything about it. Aaron C. says, I've been to Reno a lot and Tahoe as well, and I enjoy the stays. Only to Vegas once, and he doesn't care for Vegas. Hey, look, everybody's got their thing. I love Vegas. I love the people. I think the people are magnificent. I think it's a great place for a business, for an entrepreneur, okay? I'm not here to diss Las Vegas. I'm not. Only in Vegas could you have done this so fast. Pure out, end of story, all right? Now, having said that, the A's are doing it right. Why? Because Dave Cavall respected the politicians. Mark Davis did not respect the key politician, okay? Dixon says, if it goes to trial, Raiders in trouble. I have to agree with you there. I really do. And I think that's why the Raiders are rushing. But look, I think it's really also the collective bargaining agreement. But I am concerned also about this roof pattern. It looks like they really pulled it too tight. And so I'm going to reach out to some of my contractor friends and determine if my assessment is correct or not. But I'm still concerned about this thing, folks. I really am. And they need to slow down and get it right. Okay, they really, really do. And the A's aren't going anywhere. That's anybody who says the A's are leaving is a fool. I'm sorry, Mario. I mean, you're posting this. I don't really know who you are, if that's your real name, but I just have to tell you, man. I don't know where you're getting the idea from, but drop it, okay? The A's already have control of the Coliseum. The Oakland City Council has already moved ahead and established the corporate structure, their governance structure for the Howard Terminal infrastructure. Hey, how you doing? Howard Terminal infrastructure zone. So maybe that's wishful thinking on your part, but you, all right, you are not at all going to receive that wish fulfillment about failure. Get over it. Again, I'm telling you for the umpteenth time, the Raiders screwed this up politically. All right? They screwed it up in Oakland politically, okay? Politically. Oh, and it's certainly 100%. You can bet on that. There's too much money out there for it to not be. Way too much. Mario, you don't live in Oakland. You have zero idea what you're talking about. I mean, goose egg, pal. Goose egg, okay? You have zero idea what you're talking about. Drop it. So, it's going to happen. It's going to get built. It'll be the crown jewel of Oakland and the waterfront. It will transform the waterfront into something that we've never seen before. It will signal the arrival of Oakland on the international stage in a way that it has never been. We've never had a giant structure that was designed architecturally to be innovative. Dixon, do you know what I'm talking about? You're an architect, right? To be innovative, to be a crowd pleaser, to be a game changer. We've never had that, okay? Similarly, Las Vegas has never had a structure like what's being built, which is Allegiant Stadium. So in a sense, Las Vegas and Oakland are very much alike in that way, right? They're both getting structures they sorely need. Oakland needs the ballpark. Pure and simple. And Dick says it may get us another football team, okay? But Oakland needs the ballpark at Howard Terminal. We'll have the arena in Oakland, okay? And we'll have the arena. But also, the way it's designed, my prediction is that the A's are going to go after an XFL team and get the XFL team in the stadium to help have events, to have the stadium pay for itself. What Dave Cavall has tried to do is basically push all other sports away, okay, and, come right on in and be the sport. And be the sport. That's really the idea. So it's a great advancement. It's going to produce enough money to not only continue to build affordable housing throughout Oakland, because of the way the tax increment financing as Senate Bill 293 is written, but I believe it will yield. Aaron says, I still don't know why Vince McMahon didn't get a team in Oakland. There was, you mean in terms of the first history, that also had to do with the A's and the availability of the field during the time that baseball's played there. So in a sense, that's why I don't want the A's, all right, to have the ability to tear down the Coliseum. Because if they build their ballpark, they're going to have enough money in terms of subsidy, more than enough, to really apply to it. They're going to get about $1.5 billion in sponsorship dollars on top of that, okay? So, no, Mario's just, he's just popping off. Mario doesn't even live in Oakland. He's just Just type it. He probably is paid by the Raiders. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Okay? There's a lot of that going around today. Just being honest, folks. Just being honest. But I digress. Now, let's come back to this. I want to show you something else. That before I go away. Okay, here is, I want you to note that there are few workers here today. And I don't know if, you see? Because right now, it is, what, 4:50, almost 5 o'clock. Okay, there's one person there. You can see them walking along here, but more like a tour. There are not a lot of workers today, and today is not a holiday. It's you know, after the Oscars, right? I think there is some other reason why there's so few workers there. There are far few workers here than at SoFi Stadium, and that's the other thing that concerns me. That if you're trying to fast track this, if you're trying to finish things on time, don't you need more workers? I think so. You don't have a full complement here. All right? Okay? John Acosta says he doesn't think the A's will get an XFL team until the A's vacate the stadium. No, John, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. When the A's vacate the Coliseum, the A's are going to maneuver to have the XFL at Howard Terminal. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to have the XFL at Howard Terminal. They're not going to be at the Coliseum. The A's are going to be doing everything they can to bring every kind of event into that facility to help pay for it. So don't think that Dave Cavall doesn't have some idea for football, but in his facility. He's not going to want it someplace else, okay? And yeah, the XFL looked cool. The XFL finally looked like it got its football act together and its organizational act together and is going to be around for a while. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody, all right? Everyone, okay? All right? Oh, and by the way, when somebody says there's a ton of workers, or someone says there's a ton of workers to you isn't a ton of workers to me, okay? Sorry, it just ain't, okay? It just ain't. And this whole point about rushing to like, oh, everything's going fine. Look, you know what? I say it again. Believe in Jesus Christ. Believe in the Lord our God. But don't rest your hopes on another human being doing a process you don't know anything about. My background is in architecture, urban planning. So is Dixon's, okay? So we don't sort of wade into this just for nothing. But the rest of you, all right? So, hey, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The end of this will be the candy when it's finally built and it's built right and it's opened. And it's opened, okay? And it's opened, okay? So, because when it's opened, when it's established, that thing is going to be major league done. Major. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be dumb. Let's put it that way. All right. It's gonna be major league awesome. I mean, no question about it. No question about it. But everything here is haphazard. What should be happening is what should be happening. Okay, is that all of this area should be subject to a redevelopment plan that's active now, and it's not. So the Raiders and the Stadium Authority have lost out on about $1 billion in property that they should have gotten, okay? So I'll be back to talk with you about that more in another video later tonight, but I just want to give you this update. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube, and remember, the Athletics are building a state-of-the-art crown jewel ballpark at Howard Terminal It will be finished and open by 2023, 2024, all right? They will receive a subsidy of over $1 billion for the ballpark and the area around it. If you get upset, sorry, but that's the way it is. Why did it happen? Because of the way the Raiders treated the mayor of Oakland. Subscribe to Zenny62. See you later.